Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh B'Hashem El Shai, B'Hashem Kadash, the Barnes of the Apostles, and El's Great Millstone for teaching us this truth, peace, and blessings. To the Hope Collective Israel and Shalom, Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, B'Hashem is the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son. Back in the lesson, as seen in the title, Wickedness is at an all-time high. And I came across a video a couple of days ago. As seen in the title of it, it says, I'm not even going to say the full word, but I'm going to say Q testing, kids without parental approval. I'm only saying Q testing just in case, they want to strike down my channel or flag it because I say a word. You know how these doubles are, especially nowadays. It says testing involves clothing removal. And this goes to show how wicked this place is, man, as well as the people that is in it. That these things are being glossed over and being looked upon as normal. That this is not a problem. I also have a few other videos to go along with this video I have right here. So Lord will be edifying lesson through the Spirit. So let's play real quick and then jump to the other scriptures I got, and once again, Lord will be edifying. Anyway, and seeing this right here is truly, truly vexing, man. Especially with what's said right here in the captions. Testing involves clothing removal of these young kids. And there's no parents there. You can clearly see that.
Do the parents know that you guys are doing this to the kids? Huh? Do their parents know that you're doing this to the kids? Do you have parent consensual forms to do this to the kids?
I don't know who you are.
Do you guys have parent consensual forms to do this to these kids? Do the parents know that you're doing it to these kids? Excuse me, ma'am. Do you know if the...
And you see how they're all pretty much just ignoring them?
Parents have consent to do this? Look what they're doing to these kids. Look at this. Look what they're doing to our kids. No consent. This is disgusting.
But hey, he's a crazy one.
Disgusting. This is disgusting.
Through. See what his comments had to say. Call the police. What the heck's going on? What would you do this? It's none of our business. What? Nah. And of course, you have people ultimately just trying to justify this wickedness. But let's get these other two videos I got. And as you see right here, this is just clearly off. And you can see this within the schools, how they're not telling the parents of these meetings that they have, where they're, where they'll pay drags to come to your children's schools to read them books about doing the things that they're doing and teach them their ways. It's completely off, man. Most of the time the parents don't know about it. And, a lot of these teachers will especially keep it from the parents, man. But, continue on.
The internet is having an absolute meltdown after a revised California...
You're also going to be going to these draconian-like laws and measures that they're going to implement and apply, which you ultimately see already.
bill would charge any parent who doesn't affirm their child as being transgender with child abuse. In other words, if your son identifies as a girl and you don't go along with it, the state will now step in and remove the child from the home and limit visitations. As for what gender affirmation actually means in the law, it remains pretty vague and probably by design. What do you think? The internet...
Babylon is through, man. This is another reason why we need Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai to get out of here and to destroy this place, man. And guess what? We can see why. All the confusion, the wickedness that you see constantly being pushed on a day-to-day basis, everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, this is shoved right in front of your face, down your throat. Within the movies, your kids' cartoons. All this is being normalized, man. And no one sees it as a problem.
It's not very inclusive.
The internet...
And going back to this right here with them pretty much implementing laws to where you'll be fined, maybe even jailed. And as you see right here,
is having an absolute meltdown after a revised California bill would charge any parent who doesn't affirm their child as being transgender with child abuse. So
your parents would be charged with child abuse if you don't pretty much announce your child what they want to be called. Which I believe you see a similar, I think, law put in place, if not, not yet, but pretty much making it to where if you don't announce a person their correct pronouns or whatever they're wanting to be called, like even being called a tree, whatever the case may be. You're seeing these harsh and restrict laws that they're implementing, pretty much forcing you to accept them and their ways,
It's not very inclusive.
No, I'm sorry, what you were saying was not very inclusive, and this isn't
This guy kicked out from class for saying there are two genders.
an inclusive school.
Yeah, how was what I was saying?
Because I was saying that what's wrong with the website is that there are more than one gender in this country.
That's
by law.
your opinion.
That is my opinion, and that is an opinion which is acceptable in the school. I'm afraid yours, which you're saying that there's no such thing as anyone other than male or female, is not
Scientifically,
inclusive.
there are just two genders, depending on what
I get it.
gender
But you're choosing to make an issue of this, because I said, are you really going to hear? That was your opportunity to keep quiet.
You made the issue with it on the website. You said, oh, this website doesn't have more than two genders.
Murray, you were clearly given an opportunity not to pursue it. You chose to do so.
Yeah, because I think it's
You
silly.
chose to do so. Yes, that's the key question. You chose to do so.
I think it's silly to have anything other than two genders. So
That, okay.
Anything
could you please,
else is a
could you
personal
please
opinion.
keep that opinion to your own house? Thank you. Not in the
so
school.
you get to put your
I was about to bring up, yet they can, push theirs, onto you. You have to, accept theirs,
opinion out in class, and my
No,
opinion.
I am not putting
My opinion has to stay
I am
inside
not
the house.
putting my opinion. I am not putting my opinion out. I am stating what is national school authority policy. Okay?
Well, it's not scientific whatsoever.
Not every policy is scientific, Brian. Not every policy is scientific, Murray.
And you can't come out here and say that I'm not being inclusive when someone says
I
something you
didn't say
disagree with.
you,
So you
I said what you were saying was not being
you
inclusive.
kick me out of class. If you want to have a discussion about it, we could have had a discussion. You don't have to kick me out of class.
I'm
and
sorry,
waste 30 minutes
I'm-
of my time, where I could have been down revising, doing something else. Instead, I state something I believe in. You kick me out of class for 30 minutes. And I'm waiting on the.
Take this somewhere else, Murray. You can make an official complaint.
I'm not
Please
going to
do.
make an official complaint.
Why not?
I just think it's.
I know what you think, and I know what the authority thinks. I know what the authority's point of view.
Well, I know
It's
what science
very
thinks.
very clear that we make no discrimination on the grounds of various.
I wasn't making discrimination. I'm simply saying there are two genders, male and female.
Yeah.
Anything
I-
else is a personal identification.
I'm sorry, but you chose to make an issue of making a point which is contrary to policy.
You
right?
Hey, there you go. Once you go against the grain, against the ways of this society, that's when you're the bad guy, the odd one out, the oddball, especially when it comes to this truth. Finish this off. Slide keeps kind of long, but I do want to get this video out the way because it helps, push the lesson across.
The issue when you complained about the website, sir.
Yes, and I made it in a way.
And I responded to
and
that
I
by
made,
saying, but there are only two genders.
and
I never
said
made the issue.
That, okay, I am not going here. You can choose, but you're making bad choices.
I'm making bad choices, okay.
I think-
Well, can I take my bag and go to the research area and start revising
No,
it?
you can stay here.
Okay, I'll stay here. Thanks for wasting my time.
Murray, I am not allowed to tell you how much of my time you have wasted.
Hey, but her Edomite, man. But this is Psalms 82 and 5. Now it says they know not, neither will they understand. And of course, as the rain it goes black. Alright, one more time. They know not, neither they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. So everything is just completely out of whack and all jumbled up. Everything is constantly going against the ways of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. You're seeing wickedness at an all-time high, and the things that are being pushed within these schools and ultimately everywhere around you in general. This constant wicked agenda being pushed, especially heavily onto our people, man. The children, all these things is being forced down your throat. And if you don't accept it, if you don't bend the knee to what they want you to believe and accept, you're the bad guy. But when we stand stiffly and boldly for Yahweh Bashim Shai, this truth, we're the bad guys. And ultimately just goes to show how hypocritical these devils are. But as you saw in that video, how he was saying that you're forcing your opinion, or your opinion should stay within your own house. That you see the wickedness and the confusion that they're pushing onto all these people. This wicked ass agenda is being pushed everywhere, man. All throughout Babylon the Great, especially in all these different countries, man, these nations. That's why the scripture going to tell they've drunk the wine of her fornication. The scripture going to tell her sins have reached unto the heavens. And going back to the title, wickedness is at an all-time high. Now, it's Isaiah 5:20. Get this real quick. Now, it says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter, which I made a lesson, kind of a couple months back. Titling the lesson, we're in the upside down. It's all completely out of whack, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. All jumbled up, man. We're in a bizarro world. If you know the character Bizarro, he's pretty much the opposite of Superman. As you know, Superman shoots, laser beams from his eyes or heat vision. Bizarro shoots, pretty much ice beams. Just going to show the polar opposites. As you see wickedness being accepted, being praised as righteousness, righteousness being looked upon as wickedness. I'm just going to show how backwards things are. One tonight call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. So it's all completely out of whack. And it goes to show another reason why Yahweh Shai needs to destroy this place. And guess what? The Lord will. It goes super to how his word should not return unto him void. So everything is going to come to pass as it is written. So let's continue on. Got a few more. Is Isaiah 10:1 to go into the unrighteous decrees. As that video we played right there. Go into if you don't pretty much accept or announce your child correctly of what they want to be called. If they want to be called a girl, if the daughter wants to be called a man, this and that. It's all out of whack, man. And if you don't accept it, you're not gonna be labeled as an abusive parent, fined, jailed. And maybe I think they already implemented a law to where if you don't announce a person correctly and what they want to be called, you'll be fined, if not jailed. Labeled as hate speech, whatever the case may be, man. And it just goes to show the times that we are in. Because things are only getting worse. As Isaiah 10:1, as the ones that decree unrighteous decrees and right grievances which they have prescribed, once again go to those draconian and harsh like laws that they're implementing and pushing out. As you see, dealing with this wicked agenda that they are pushing. It's my body, my choice movement. This I can be a woman when I'm a man. I can be a man when I'm a woman. It just goes to show how out of order things are, once again. Now, Isaiah 42:14. Now it says, I have a long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. So the Lord is fed up with this place, man. That's why you're seeing these plagues, these pestilences, these judgments that are going out. The Lord's not playing any games, man, and the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place, man. As we're here, I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. The scripture going to how Lord Yahweh Shai is going to come back with a sword, man. It goes into how he came not to send peace on earth. He came not to send peace, but a sword. So Lord Yahweh Shai has come back to the slave, man. A lot of people will be put to death. Now, can you on? So now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. And a judgment needs to come to this place, man. And also the people that is in it, man. And you can see why. That's why we also have to give all praise to Yahweh Shema Shai for revealing this word unto us, man. And pulling us out of this place, man. Call Yahweh Shema Shai. Now, so Isaiah 34:1-6. It's also going to that destruction that's coming to this place, because it will be destroyed by thermonuclear fire. As I made a lesson going into a couple of days ago, going into all these tensions that we are seeing within these nations, which is ultimately building up to World War III, which is prophesied in the Bible. As we're going to have these chariots play a role in this coming destruction. Turning people into literal dust, man. Now this is the 34th chapter and first verse. Now as the come near ye nations do hear, and hearken ye people, let the earth hear and all is therein, the world and all the things that come forth of it. Verse 2, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. Yahweh is also getting ready to destroy the wicked of our people. Go back to Zechariah, the 13th chapter and 8th verse, how 2/3 of our people are getting ready to be cut off. Now, as inferior upon all their armies, he had utterly destroyed them, he had delivered them to the slaughter. Verse 3, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come out of the carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. So you're about to see great destruction, judgment, man. Now, verse 4, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And the heavens being rolled together as a scroll is going to the mushroom cloud being formed from that explosion, from the missile. As well as going back up top, and all the hosts of them shall be dissolved, going to that fervent heat that's going to come from those missiles, man. As we're going back to 2 Peter 3 and 10. As all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falls off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Now let's continue on, verse 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, that sword being those missiles, man, which the Lord is going to unleash upon this place. As we're going to Isaiah 13, how this place will never be inhabited again. For my sword to be bathed in heaven, behold, shall come down upon Idumea, is the word for Esau, Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment, as I brought up in Zechariah 13:8. Verse 6, a sword of the Lord is filled with blood, is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams, for the Lord, how they sacrifice in Basra in a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And what would they do with the fat when they would make those sacrifices? They would throw it into the fire. And guess what? Thermonuclear fire is coming to this place, man. And those of you that don't repent, those that don't take heed, Yahweh Bashem Shai is going to destroy you, man. Simple as that, plainly put. So I skip going to how we persuade men through the terror of the Lord, paraphrasing. Revelation 18 4 through 6. Now it says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plague. So this is going to the destruction that Yahweh is going to unleash upon Babylon the Great, as well as the Lord delivering his elect, his people, man, the Israelites. Verse 5, now it says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. And go back to the title, how wickedness is at an all-time high. As you've seen the things that they're pushing within these schools, the things that they're feeding to our children, the books that they're reading to them, drags being brought to their children's schools, shaking their ass in front of them, half naked. Now, how would that do good for a child? Seeing that, learning that. And ultimately, they're leading you up to be destroyed, to be put to death, man. Because once again, all these things go against the ways of our God, man. Yahweh Bashem Shai. You're seeing constant rebellion, man. Especially all the things that they're putting in the food. You know, all these unclean things in order to make us go off. Also trying to kill us, man. Especially with the crap that they're pushing, you know, all throughout Babylon the Great, and pushing onto our people. This place needs to be destroyed, man. Now, I don't know if I finished off verse 4. So come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Now, verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities, which, actually I did finish verse 4, but, so you want verse 6, and as to reward her, even as she reward you, and double unto her, double according to her work. So this place can receive double, man. And the cup which she had filled, which she had filled to her double. So go into this great judgment that the Lord is going to unleash upon this place once again, man. As I mentioned earlier in Isaiah 13, this place will never be inhabited again. As Ecclesiastes 1:14 tells Adam to the point, now said, I've seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of the spirit. None but wickedness and confusion, man. None. That's why I skipped going to Micah 2 and 10, how this place is not our residence, our kingdom, and how this place will destroy you with a sword destruction, man. Which I could use that real quick, since I brought it up. Now it's Micah 2 and 10, now it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. But many of our people want to stay here, you know, are alright with the way that things are going, the way that things are. And those that want to continue to join hands with the enemy and dwell in this place, guess what? You're going to be destroyed along with it. Simple as that. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, shall destroy you, and with a sword destruction, man. And a great example is 2/3 of our wicked people, completely through. Now I've seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of the spirit. Once again, nothing but wickedness being pushed. And so that's why we're crying out unto the Lord to deliver us, to get us out of here, and to destroy this place. Excuse me. Real more time. I've seen all the works that are done in the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of the spirit. As I brought up, that's why we're constantly crying out to the Lord and doing what we can in order to be saved, man. You know, praying to Yahweh Bashem Shai to hasten these days and to once again destroy this place, man. To get us out of here, man. Ezekiel 9:4, and the Lord said unto him, down to that point, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Who's doing that sighing and crying? The prophets, the men of the Lord. They're out there in the highways and byways, that are constantly making these lessons, that are constantly sounding the alarm, going back to Isaiah 62. How the Lord has set up watchmen upon towers that hold not their peace day nor night. So that's a sign and crying that we are doing, man. One more time. Go to the midst of the city of Jerusalem and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And you're seeing constant confusion, constant wickedness, constant rebellion against Yahweh B'Shem El Shai. And as we read in Isaiah 42, how the Lord has long time holding his peace. So the Lord is getting ready to destroy us, because as you've seen the increases, the plagues, the pestilence, the judgments, the destruction the Lord's bringing, things are only progressively getting worse. And things will only get worse until this place is destroyed, until our Lord Yahweh Shai returns. Then things will be set back in order. When the kingdom is established, man. As is 1 John 2:15. I just want to get the other version of it. Now this is John chapter 15 verse 18. Now it says, if the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. That's what I was mentioning earlier. We're going to be grateful that the Lord has bestowed upon us this knowledge and the understanding of this word, the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, in order to perceive these things, man. Now it says, if you were of the world would love his own, but because you're not of the world, but I've chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you. And that's why when we speak on certain topics and bringing out the scriptures and saying it how it is, we're the so-called crazy ones, especially when we speak against the grain, against the ways of this society and the way that things are going. We're made out to be the so-called bad guys, because we're not the so-called politically correct, Now, if you're of the world loves its own, because you're not of the world. But because you are not of this of the world, but I've chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Remember the word I sent to you, the servant not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. Going to show we're not exempt from these afflictions and the persecution that's ahead. They will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. So that was the main point I was going to get right there. Now we'll shut this down with 1 Corinthians 6, 9 through 10. Now there's a cut to those that want to continue to play around and continue to partake in the wicked things that are going on, these pagan holidays, as well as the wickedness that you see going on with people dating the same gender, this and that. I'm trying to be careful with my words. But know ye not, the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, especially dealing with these effeminate men. That's a heavy agenda that they are pushing within these movies also, and just everywhere in general. Being a man in society is now looked upon as you being effeminate, you wearing skirts, painting your nails, wearing makeup, being in tune with your emotions. But when you're an actual man, putting your foot down within these relationships, being an actual man, toxic masculinity, bad guy, you're weird. It's just all out of whack. It's like if I sound like a broken record repeating certain words throughout the lesson, but you gotta constantly repeat these things, man. Because Jake has a thick skull, and Jake does not want to accept these things. And also Jake don't want to hear it, man. And if they don't want to hear it, it's not for them. But there's nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves of mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High. So those that want to participate in these wicked ways and do these wicked things and constantly rebel against the Lord, guess what? You will be destroyed. But pretty much the main point of the lesson, like I said, I came across those couple videos that I saw and I want to make a lesson out of it, but Lord was definitely a lesson through the Spirit. Once again, like I mentioned earlier, it's like if I sound like a broken record, repeating certain things, but Lord was like the point across and you're edified throughout the whole thing. I do want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh B'Shem El Shai, B'Shem HaKodesh, the one of the apostles, and else great millstone for teaching us his truth, peace, and blessings to the whole collective of Israel and Shalom. See you next week, Lord willing.